Hello, Junta. Welcome to the YouTube channel of My Analytics School. Today, in this placement experience series, I have with me Bishal, who is currently the final year T in NIT Agartala. He got selected as a graduate engineer trainee in Siemens. So, we will be interviewing him about his hiring process of this uh, placement drive. So, hi Vishal, can you tell a bit about yourself to our audience?
Hello, sir. It's always a pleasure connecting with you. Myself, Bishal. I'm from NIT Agartala. Currently, I'm in my final year of BTech and I am placed at Siemens through my on campus placement as a GET. That's all about me.
Okay, cool. Any hobbies you want to share?
My hobbies include traveling and listening to music.
Okay, traveling and listening to music. All right, that's a great taste. Cool. So let's start this interview, Vishal. So my first question will be like, can you walk us through your hiring process? How was your hiring process?
Okay, sir. Sir, the process was pretty much like any other recruitment process. Siemens came on campus and we first had a resume shortlisting, which was followed by online aptitude and which were further followed by 2 rounds of interview, that is technical and HR.
Okay, technical and HR. All right, that's great. Let's move to your these particular rounds only. So, how many people applied for the company? How many resumes got shortlisted for the online test?
Sir, about the resume shortlisting, about more than 90% of the resumes got shortlisted, and the online aptitude round, it consisted of around 4 sections. It consisted of questions from quantitative aptitude, LRDI, and English. And after the OA round, there were 70 to 80 students who got selected out of total applied, which is 300 approx. After the online aptitude, we had this technical and HR. At the end, there were 16 students finally who were selected for GET
All
round.
right. All right. Cool. So you have summarized all the numbers in one. Before we move to the next round, I wanted to ask like anything particular you insight you have around a resume key the company was looking for this particular section in your resume that then it going to get shortlisted for the next round.
They actually put much emphasis on the work ex section, and second priority was my projects. So I had applied to an internship and I mentioned about it on my resume. And after that, I did 2 personal projects which I mentioned on my resume. Questions were asked from it about the keywords, about the relevant technologies which I applied on my projects. So I got questions from it.
So the first round, which was OT, it consisted of some sections, and 70 people got shortlisted for the interview round, right? So let's
Yes.
talk about first round, which was tech round. So what was the duration of it? How does it looks like? What were asked from you?
So my tech round was for a duration of 40 minutes to be precise, and the technical round, only one person was present who was interviewing me, and he asked me question from my resume. He much emphasized on my work ex, and luckily I did an internship around the relevant technology. I did my internship as a data analyst, and after that he moved on to my projects. He asked me questions from it. There was a lot of grilling on my project. He asked me questions like he asked me about F1 score, cross validation, precision recall. These were some of the questions and a lot. And these were all included on my project which I did. And there were also some questions which were relevant to my project. Not all were from my resume, but it was around the project that I did.
Got it. And how many people make it to the next round out of 70, 60 people?
Out of 70, 60 people, around 30 people moved on to the HR round. Again, this is
Okay.
an approx. I don't remember the actual number, but around 30
Okay.
people moved on to the HR round.
So what about this HR round? Any insights on this?
So the HR round basically consisted of the typically asked HR questions. They asked me about the company, why I'm looking to join Siemens, And
Okay.
also I belong to chemical engineering, so I was switching my domain. So the person in HR, she asked me about this, why I'm opting for a change of domain. So I explained it to her. Again, there was much emphasis put on the extracurricular activities that I mentioned on my resume. POR section on resume comes very handy. I got questions regarding it, and she also asked questions about my hobbies and interests and all that.
And how many people got selected after this round?
At the end, there were 16 people who got selected as for the GET role.
Okay. So one person from the two people who appeared for the interview. So it's like 50% people got rejected in the HR round only. And as you mentioned, like just 15 to 20 minutes was spent around this particular round, right? Any insights you want to provide to the audience who is watching this? Like HR rounds became so important after you make this statement that 50% people just made after this round. So any particular insights, what you should prepare, how you should prepare around the HR?
So I would say that I had prepared some questions. I made notes of it. I was expecting all those questions, to be precise. Like, I was from chemical, so I'm
Hmm.
switching my domain to get into an IT company. So this question I was expecting, and likewise I also prepared some questions and their answers. I made notes of them. I revised it before the interview, so that came very handy. And
Okay.
I would say that try to relate your answers that you are providing to the HR, connecting it with your POR. You just try to connect this section because that looks good, that looks appealing.
Cool. So this one question, like we ask every candidate who set for this interview, like if uh, you said that 70 people they went for the interview, so only 16 got selected. So any insights you find, like who got rejected, any mistakes they made, if you remember any, if you had communication with those candidates?
Sir, I got to know that people were not able to defend their resume properly. Actually, a resume is the face of a candidate within a job interview. So, whatever we mention on our resume, we must be able to defend it properly. That provides a good impression. Though the list I have mentioned on the resume, I am able
Hmm.
to explain all of it. So, that is one thing. And also, I would say that whatever you mention on your resume, I am talking about the tech skills, you try
Hmm.
to answer your questions in a short and crisp way. Don't try to elaborate so much, because अगर elaborate करने जाएंगे उधर ही
Hmm.
अटकने का सवाल आता है. तो don't create lots of hooks. Try to be short and crisp with your answers.
So just to summarize, prepare your resume well, short and crisp answer, to the point, attention to detail. So इन चीज़ों का ध्यान रखें तो there will be very less chances. And resume is the face, of course, as you mentioned. कि resume तो at least that's all you have. One paper is all you have. That's your syllabus. At least वो तुम्हें आना चाहिए जो भी उसमें लिखा हुआ है. As you were also part of the MAS program, so any insights on that? Ki why you choose MAS program and how, what was your experience in the whole program?
So MS program was indeed a very innovative one. I am glad that I joined to the program. I still remember there was around 5 to 6 months left for my placement, and my preparation was very haphazard. Content was there on YouTube, but those contents I was lacking the structure of my preparation. So after joining the course, it provided me all the remedy to the ailments that I was facing regarding my placement. I got a structure, I got constant mentorship support, I got access to Doubt platform. There was a supportive peer group with whom we were practicing regular mock interviews and GD. So that came very handy. That boosted my confidence, and that was indeed required at that time of my placement. So I'm very grateful that I came to know about MAS and I enrolled in the program.
So thank you so much for your time, Vishal. I hope like after this interview, many people who will be appearing for Siemens or any other role similar to it, so they will have a clear understanding on what all things they should work on. So thank you so much for your time. That was it about the interview.
Thank you, sir.